Welcome to my devlog series where I document the challenges I undertake each month using Unreal Engine's free-for-the-month assets. The rules of the challenge are, as always, I must use at least one of Epic's free-for-the-month assets. I shouldn't spend more than 1 week of effort on the project for the whole month. I must make a video reviewing the assets and what was learned. As usual, let's start with a look at what we've got this month. Opera House Kit. Another super high quality awesome set piece that I have no idea what I'm going to do with. But I guess you never know when you're going to need something. MAE Oak Forest. This is a pretty cool set of tools to build a forest landscape. It's a lot more than what you would typically get in an asset like this. I would like to see more authors making their assets actually ready to use. Though that would probably only make sense if there was a more standardized way of setting up the procedural generation across every project. Modern House. Yet another insanely rich person's house to add to the vault. Vault-It multiplayer vaulting system. This is a pretty niche asset. I didn't invest much time into this one as it's just for making procedural animations look natural. Looking at the demo material available, it didn't actually look too great, and the feedback on the marketplace is lackluster as well. Art of Shader, film and special effects. Another somewhat niche plugin, but I can definitely think of a few uses for it. And for the permanently free collection, we have nothing. I'd say it's unusual, but now it's pretty usual. I'm guessing there's nothing extra here this month because they just released the beta version of Unreal Editor for Fortnite and all the other stuff they announced at GDC. I'm not feeling any obvious solutions to this month's challenge, so I think I'll continue the pattern and try to combine some other plugins with this month's selection. See you on the other side. Let's jump right into a quick review of the assets I used. First off, MAE Oak Forest. I didn't dive too deeply into this asset, but the pre-set up procedural assets for placing all of the objects are really nice. Everything is very high quality and looks great, until it turns into a 2D plane from 30 feet away. I tried messing around with Nanite to see what kind of performance I could get, and it just wasn't good enough. Also, all the trees stopped being able to cast shadows if I enabled Nanite, and I could only find other people complaining about the same thing with no solutions. So it looks like we aren't quite at a one-click solution yet. Next we have Art of Shader, Film, and Special Effects. This is a really nice set of effects. Somewhat niche, and I don't know if I could call any of the effects film or AAA quality, but that's not what I was expecting out of it either. I think most of the effects work best for things that the player won't be paying too much attention to. Next up is Animal Variety Pack. This is a rather simple pack of good quality, fairly realistic animals. It's definitely beginning to show its age, but considering it's in the permanently free collection, it's an excellent set of assets for kicking off a project like this. I haven't checked all the animals' animations, but the variety available is sufficient for this level of project, and they're definitely lacking if you want to make one of the animals your main character, though. Finally, we have the core asset of this game, Ultimate Multiplayer FPS Framework. I've had the Ultimate Multiplayer FPS Framework for a while, but I hadn't had the opportunity to engage with it much. I've been keeping an eye on the creator's Discord, and it's under near constant updates and evolution. And when I had issues getting some of the example projects to work and learning my way around the blueprints, the author was insanely responsive and helpful. Despite the initial hiccups with the example projects being slightly out of date because the developer had just released new changes, this was the smoothest integration of a framework asset I've worked with yet. I suppose the one downside might be that the author's frequent updates could tend to break your project, but that's going to be true with almost anything, and I would say is more reflective of Epic's failing to implement more stable and convenient solutions to updating blueprints. I would much rather have to deal with the update migration issues than have a plugin that doesn't see updates for months. And like I said, the author is responsive enough that even I was able to slap this project together for this challenge. I can absolutely say this is the best plugin I've ever used on the marketplace, especially because this isn't the source code for someone's game, it is a framework to build off of and customize. So you may have already guessed from the breakdown, but this month's project is a deer hunting game. or more accurately, a stag hunting game. I used the Art of Shader asset to create a sort of hunter vision to help you find tracks that the deer leave behind. I probably spent the most time working on the deer AI, animation blueprint, and environment queries, which I guess is a testament to how easy it was to start using and customize all the different assets and plugins I used. I suppose I should just let the experience of solo hunting speak for itself for a bit. Well, I think that's more than enough to get the idea. I really can't say enough how great it was working with the Ultimate FPS framework and being able to focus mostly on the meat of the features I wanted in the game. If all marketplace assets were of this quality, I don't think I would have any money left. And I'm pretty sure this is the most gamey game I've made for this challenge so far. No pun intended. Given the ongoing drought of framework plugins and the monthly free assets, I think this style of using them is actually much more interesting because I get to learn more about other plugins I have at the same time. So I think this is a better way to keep going forward with this challenge. Also, I do have a Discord link in the description, so if you would like to share your ideas or talk about anything else, feel free to join. As always, if you have any suggestions or just want to tell me how awful I am, feel free to leave a comment, I guess.